Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. For those that are new, my name is Nelly. You know, marriage is a bliss, especially when it happens at the right time. But when family members begin to ask you, when are you getting married? This is when it begins to hit you, right? That you might be missing the boat. Today, we're going to be talking about delays in marriage. What causes delays in marriage? Usually the men are the ones in making a decisions on finding a wife, and usually it's the man that finds the wife. But sometimes these guys, they just take their time. Unfortunately, women don't have those privileges because they are the ones that needs to be found. Up to the point that a lot of women find themselves in situations that they don't really need to be. And at the end of the day, they can't solve the situation. Only God can solve the situation. The truth is, at a certain age, women develop this high level of maturity and they become so independent that they stop looking as well. Marriage becomes not an issue anymore. Time begins to pass by, yet others feel they have to find partners, up to the point that they tend to take matters into their own hands. Some begin to go as far as going to different places in search for marriage, without even realizing the problems that are getting themselves into. One of the things that causes delay in marriage is you set yourself very high standards. There's nothing wrong with this because everyone has got standards that they set for themselves. Let's face it, everyone sets those standards once in a while and they want to keep to those standards. It could be something like school, work, business, or maybe finding that life partner. We all have certain standards that we're looking for in a spouse. Sometimes you go as far as having this long list with the qualities that you're looking for in a spouse. And for some, it's just the basic, a God-fearing, tall, dark, and handsome guy. Sometimes this person can be far from God-fearing. Seriously, ladies, if you are looking for a tall, dark, and handsome guy, which means you're looking in the wrong places. You're looking at those Instagram Photoshop pictures. And this will take a while, especially if you're looking for that man in your list. It will take longer than you expect. There's no man with those good qualities. You're more concerned on that list and you don't see a good man coming. That is why sometimes it takes you so long to get married because of that list. Yet there are good men out there. All the things that you've written down, do you even meet those standards? By the time you realize that there's no perfect guy, time would have gone by and all your mates would have been married. What I'm saying is you just need to be realistic when you have that list. Don't put too much high standard that you can also not fulfill. Nobody is perfect. Only God is perfect. I'm not saying you should not put in those standards. Standards are great. But you also need to be realistic when you put on those standards. The next reason is we tend to attract wrong partners. We tend to fall for these guys that a lot of women as well are falling for them. These are the guys that are serial cheaters. They're so good in what they do that you never find out that you're not the only one when it comes to the relationship. They're so smooth with their words and you never get to find out their true colors because they're very good in covering their tracks. These are the guys that every woman would fall for. And you are always attracting these kind of guys. They will mislead you for their own motives. These are the kinds that are never going to settle down. And you find yourself in this relationship for a long time because you don't want to let go of them. Yet these are the guys that will never settle down. The next reason why there could be a delay in marriage could be caused by a generation curse. I know a lot of Christians don't believe in generation curses, but they're there. We see that in Deuteronomy 28 when God explains about curses and blessings. A lot of people find themselves delaying in marriage and they're not aware what is the cause of it. Sometimes they would see that there's a certain pattern that's in their family, but they're not aware that this could be a generation curse. This is when they realize that for some reasons, none of their siblings have had that privilege of getting married. Or maybe if they do get married, it ends up in a divorce. Sometimes it could be a pattern where your house is full of graduates but nothing to show for it. They can't even get a job. When you get to realize that this could be a generation curse, find a source and get deliverance. Maybe ask questions, ask your parents or ask your grandparents. This is where you will get your answers from. Generation curses do not just start now. They were there long before, even in the Bible. Look at Abraham's lineage. Sarah was barren. Even Isaac's wife was barren as well. So these generation curses do not come now. If you don't get to find the source and break that source, you'll eventually grow older and get tired of seeing all your friends getting married and you're always a bridesmaid. This is when you begin to ask yourself these questions, because curses can be broken once you get the source of where it's coming from. The next reason it could be caused by spiritual marriages. I know a lot of people don't believe in spiritual marriages. Many believers do not get married today because of their connections with their kingdom wives or kingdom spouses. Some people don't even believe that exists. They think it's a myth. But with a lot of African churches, it's real. It's not only African churches, it also includes Asia, India, South America, and even Europe. So these spiritual marriages are there and they're real. You need to take note of it, because sometimes it does show you in your dreams. When you don't cancel those dreams, you're accepting that. These demons don't just visit you at night when you're sleeping. They also affect your marriage as well. This is when you begin to notice that you and your husband, if you're married, you begin to have arguments. Or maybe you begin to lose interest when it comes to sleeping with your partner. Sometimes the spiritual spouses can cause other problems in marriages, and they bring in other demons like masturbation, pornography, and prostitution. You need to take note of that, because they will take control of your marriage. When you're not married, you find it very difficult to get married because these demons take control of your life. They do not want you to get married. If you eventually do get married, this is when they bring in problems in your marriage. They own you. They begin to own you. Sometimes you can even dream that you're having sexual intercourse with somebody in a dream. When you have such a dream, you need to wake up and rebuke it. In the physical realm, you'll find it very difficult to get married. Sometimes God shows us in a dream that a spiritual spouse is about to attack you. And if you are going to wake up and not rebuke that dream or cancel it, you are already agreeing with the devil. And then you begin to notice why you're not getting married. Once you're aware of such dreams, you need to get deliverance and set yourself free from this covenant that is made by spiritual spouses. At the end of the day, when you have a spiritual spouse, it will make sure that it destroys everything that is good. So when you are married, it will make sure that it wants to destroy your marriage that is in the physical. The next thing that causes delay in marriage is witchcraft. Witchcraft is real as well. There's a lot of people that call out these witches, and they open up the spirits that are behind this person that's not getting married. The truth is, you're not even aware of the source behind why you're not getting married. There's a legal agreement that has been done. If you do not find the source of the problem, you never get to know why you're not getting married. Most of the time, you'll realize that this is done by somebody you know. It could be a friend or maybe a family member. Sometimes out of the abundance, their heart speaks. Sometimes you can just curse somebody by speaking with your mouth. Even your heart can cause a curse, whether you're quiet or you say it out loud. A lot of women can say things out of anger. Maybe the person they've had a relationship with disappoints them, and they end up saying all these things out of anger, and not knowing that these things that you may be speaking with your mouth may manifest, because the power of the tongue is real. You may not be aware that you are the cause that this guy is not finding a wife. The next one is altars. You may not realize that the reason why you're not getting married is because of the things that were done by our forefathers. They entered covenants. Those covenants begin to manifest from generation to generation. And while they entered those covenants, an agreement was formed. Sometimes it could not be our forefathers. Maybe it's just you. You could have just gone to an altar yourself. Maybe you wanted to get married and you thought you should go to an altar to get this person to marry you. And this begins to affect you without you realizing it. You may be misled without you realizing it. Because some of these people, they call on to God. You need to ask yourself, which God are they calling on to? You become part of these prayers, yet you don't know that they may affect your life in the future. These agreements and sacrifices were entered without you even realizing it. If there's a surviving person in your family, you need to get to ask them questions. Ask them, why is this happening in your family? It's very difficult to break a covenant. That is why you need to find out your source of your marital delay, where it's coming from. Covenants are very difficult to break, so it's very important to find out the source, where it's coming from. Some are not even aware that the places that they've been may cause an impact on their generation, especially because they were just seeking for temporary solution that you may not realize that it may impact your future generation. You must be very careful on the places you go. Even if you think it's a man of God, test the spirit. Don't just let other people deceive you. Even if you like this person so much and you go to all these places, altars and witch doctors, at the end of the day, nothing lasts forever. So don't go to places seeking temporary solution that will affect your future generation. Think about it. Thank you for watching. If this is content that you like, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you on the next video. God bless you.